Hey, Wes, I want you to try something.
Okay. What do you got?
All right. Well, this is a very special whiskey. This is Blanton's. Okay. It's pretty highly sought after, gets a bad press, but I wanted to give you a taste of it. This whiskey, it's widely credited with helping bring bourbon back to popularity in the United States because it was the first single barrel whiskey that really allowed you to see what one barrel would do to a whiskey to, give you a sense of how every single barrel is different. And so, it's really nice. So give it a try. Tell me what you think.
Okay.
Whoa.
Oh, it's smooth. Very smooth.
Okay, so that is a little bit of a faux pas. So if you happen to be in a social situation and somebody shares a nice whiskey with you, you want to, drink it slowly, be intentional, concentrate on the flavors, and give the person that shared their whiskey with you and the spirit itself the respect to not just shoot it like a shot.
Hey, Randy, I want to try some good whiskey. What do you got, man?
I've got a bunch to pick from. What do you normally like?
What's the best up here? What's the best?
Well, probably my most expensive bottle is this CYBP from Weller.
Okay, yeah. Do you care if I?
No, go ahead. Yeah, that's what it's for, man.
I appreciate it, man. I've heard a lot of things about this, and it's super expensive. So I wanted to try it out and see if it's really something that I like. And there we go. Nice. All right, man. Appreciate it.
Okay, so that's a bit of a faux pas. If you ever find yourself in a social situation where there's a host, they're sharing their rare bottles with you, and they give you bottle control, make sure that you don't take a deep pour. All you need to get a good experience with the whiskey is maybe a quarter ounce, definitely no more than a half ounce. You're gonna be able to get a good, few tastes out of that and really get a sense for the whiskey. So be respectful of your host bottles. So Wes, what do you think of this whiskey?
Man, it's really light on the nose, nothing too sharp, nothing sticking out to me, but yeah, it's good, man.
Yeah?
I like it, yeah.
Well, you should like it. This whiskey, it's Old Elk, and a lot of people don't know this, but Greg Metz was the master distiller at MGPI, and then he ended up leaving and going to Colorado to start Old Elk, and a lot of the whiskey that they sell is his whiskey that he made when he was still back at MGP. And so even though it's technically a non-distiller produced whiskey, do you know what that is? That's basically where somebody owns a brand, but they don't make their whiskey.
Oh, Steve, hang on, sorry. Steve, hey, yeah, how was the football game, man?
So when you're in a social setting, you definitely need to judge the audience, because we love whiskey, and sometimes you get around other people who love whiskey, but sometimes people are not necessarily looking to get together to geek out on what they're drinking. Sometimes they just want to spend some time and get connected with some friends. Hey man, what'd you think of that Pappy 23 I gave you?
Dude, good recommendation, man.
Nice.
Put a little Pappy in there, throw a little Sprite in with it, some ice cubes. Dude, they got Sprite in there. You gotta go a little heavy with the Sprite because that Pappy is super sharp, bro. But you put enough Sprite in there, it tastes phenomenal altogether.
I'm not telling you that there's a wrong way to drink your whiskey. The old adage that you should drink your whiskey the way that you want is absolutely true. But I will say, if you're going to make a mixed drink with a bourbon, all of the ingredients that go into that bourbon should probably be on par with the bourbon. But if you're at somebody else's house and they offer you something rare, I definitely wouldn't mix it. They may feel like you're not showing a proper respect to the sacrifice that they made so that you could try that spirit.
What's going on, Bourbon Real Talk family? I'm Wes, and I'm here to tell you about how you can get involved in supporting the channel. Now, we get asked all the time, hey man, we love your content. We love what you're doing. We love the knowledge that you're dropping on us. How can we support the channel? Well, here's the way you can do that. Head over to our website, bourbonrealtalk.com, and you can find every single bit of swag that every bourbon lover needs. We've got shirts for him, shirts for her, wee Glens, big Glens, aroma kits, Glen holders. There's no shortage of good gifts to give to the bourbon lovers in your life. So after the episode, head over to the shop and see if there's anything there that you can pick up for yourself or for a friend. And if not, just enjoy the content that we're putting out. We're just happy to have you as a listener.
Do you finish that up?
It's a 1792 small batch. It's good.
Yeah, I do like
Big
that.
fan of 1792. So.
Well, I've got something special I want for you to try. Have you tried Stag Junior before?
No, man. Shoot me up.
When you're at somebody's house and you're taking pours, you should be drinking really small amounts. And even though you're drinking small amounts, there's going to be a remnant of what you just finished left in your glass. So if you get the opportunity to pour something that's rare or valuable, you should be pouring a small amount, but that remnant that's in there is enough to change the flavor of your next pour. And so be respectful and take the time to rinse your glass, drink the water, stay hydrated, and hopefully you have a lint-free rag somewhere nearby that you can dry your glass out before you move on to your next pour. Hey Wes, I want to give you a try of something special I picked up. This is Sam Houston 15 year.
Okay.
It's pretty expensive, but I'd heard some good things about it. So
yeah, sure.
I thought it would be
a
good try. So here you go. I've given some to some of the other guys. So
okay.
Hopefully you like it.
Yeah. Well, doesn't smell terrible. Let me see. Oh, it's kind of like a mix of burnt hair and cat butt. Steve, have you tried this Sam? What? Oh.
If you're in a social situation and somebody shares something with you, especially if they express to you that it's special to them, you don't have to like it, and you don't have to lie. Always be honest, but be respectful with your feedback. Don't say derogatory things when it was good enough to just share that you didn't like it.
Time of my life.
Are you okay, man?
Yeah, thank you for having me, man. Hey, listen, you got a beautiful home, beautiful family. I love all of these whiskeys. I've had almost all of them
you
right
had
here.
all of these?
Oh, I tried them. Yeah, it's good. Hang on a second. Hang on. I love whiskey.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is like my favorite day ever in my life. So
okay.
I want to thank you.
All right.
Thank
All
you.
right. All right. I'm
gonna come back again. Yeah. Okay.
You go get some water.
Okay.
Don't get drunk in a social setting at a bottle share. Not cool. I actually keep a breathalyzer at my house. If you get to acting the way Wes was in that video, I'm probably gonna breathalyze you. I'm not gonna let you leave until you can pass the breathalyzer and you don't seem drunk to me. Don't drink too much in social settings.
So Randy, what do you think of that barrel proof, man?
It was really good. I mean, I tried it neat when you gave it to me, and it was a little bit hot, so I added a little bit of water. And then after that, it was like perfect for me.
Whoa! You put water in the whiskey?
Well, yeah, a little bit. It was a little bit hot.
Oh my God! You might as well just throw a bunch of ice cubes in there and Sprite.
Well,
what are you, some kind of weirdo sissy?
Dude, sometimes I drink it like that.
She screwed up the. Randy don't know how to drink whiskey. I swear. Every time I have him over here.
So the eighth and final faux pas that we're going to talk about is judging others for the way that they drink their whiskey. So kind of ironic to make that the last rule in an episode talking about the wrong things to do associated with whiskey. But pretty much everything that we've talked about today has been about being respectful of your host, being respectful of the spirit, and generally behaving in a way that's going to allow you to integrate well into whiskey society. But if you're one of those people who likes to give others a hard time for the way that they drink their whiskey, just stop. Whiskey is meant to be enjoyed however the drinker wants to enjoy it. So the story behind why I started Bourbon Real Talk, I mean, there were multiple reasons, but one of my main motivations was that I wanted to help people feel connected. And that was important to me because I lost a loved one to suicide in 2014. And I wanted to find a way to make sure that people could feel connected to one another so they wouldn't feel alone the way that my brother did when he decided to take his own life. And at the same time, my passion for whiskey was growing, and I started to observe the connective power of whiskey. And I figure, well, if I can get people connected to whiskey, the whiskey will do the rest of the work and get people connected to each other so they don't feel the way that my brother did. And going through that journey and that process and being online and being a member of the community, I also started to observe people saying very mean and hateful things to each other, not just in the whiskey community, but in social media in general. And that's when it dawned on me that if somebody can hate a stranger online that they don't really know, It's just as easy for me to love a stranger online that I don't really know. And that's why I end every podcast with the same sign off, and that's this. If you woke up this morning and you were unsure whether or not anyone loved you, just know that I love you. And I'll see you next time on Bourbon Real Talk.
Were you some kind of sissy or something? Dude, you probably ruined the whiskey.
I laughed. We got to redo that.
Okay.
Hey, whiskey community, I want to help you guys out and get some information so that some of the new people don't do things that get everybody all upset so they can have a fun time in the community. You're an elitist pig, and I can't believe that you would even ask this question. I know, I'm garbage. I deserve to die.